Hello everyone and welcome back to Next Gen Competition. We are here at the Long Beach circuit for round 2 of the Project IndyCar season here for the Long Beach Grand Prix. We started the season last week at the Watkins Glen circuit where it was Evan Dalton for Dalton Autosport who came out on top and took the victory, but we saw multiple drivers run up front at different points in the race, so we imagine that this week should also be a very exciting one, and one that will be very hard to predict indeed. The drivers have just now finished a 30-minute practice session, and now they will be going into qualifying, which will last for 10 minutes. As you can see, in practice it was Dammers who topped practice, and of course Adam Liu, one of the drivers who ran up front last time out. Then it was Adam Richardson in second, ahead of Aston Lewis, who has already managed to pick himself up a one-place grid penalty for today's event. Then it's Tyler Davison in fourth, as Afonso Silva in 5th place, and then Evan Dalton, the winner last time out, 1.2 seconds off the pace in practice in 6th, but as we've seen in the past, it can all change when we go to qualifying. So let's do that now. We have green for qualifying then. The drivers have 10 minutes to try and set the best lap time they can. Of course, crucial on a track like this, a street circuit, means that it's very tricky to overtake on. So we could see a track position race at times today, but equally it is entirely possible that we'll see lots of cautions, lots of drama, which allows all these drivers to overtake as easily as they want to. Last season the race was actually won after a partial lead on track under green flag conditions, but that was later penalised, but not enough for the eventual race winner to lose the win. So it's possible to pass around here, but not necessarily without some form of contact along the way. Watching Thomas Pierpont at the moment, driving for Fast Formula Racing in the number 10 car. He finished 4th last time out, just missed out on the podium. Not too far off, so will be another driver to keep an eye on today. Other drivers out on the racetrack at the moment, of course we've got the previous winner. Evan Dalton started off this season with a win, but did not start on pole position despite leading lap 1. It was actually Aston Lewis who started on pole position, as we see him here, but had a spin down Tailman after a very poor start, which meant that he had a slightly unideal start to his season. Let's now watch Evan Dalton starts his first flying lap of the day. Let's get up some of the track map and speedo there for you. And yeah, let's have a look at how this lap is going so far for Evan Dalton, making his way through this tricky part of the racetrack. You see him getting to the wall there. Very easily done to overestimate the amount of grip you're going to have through each corner, which means that these drivers will find themselves on the limit of grip at all times, and this is what these sort of early laps are for, is finding that limit of grip and knowing how much you can push it, how much you have to be sort of cautious. And over the course of this session and over the course of the race, they'll learn little bits here and there in each corner as it goes on, things that they can do slightly differently to help improve them as they go through the event. But yes, we could see some very scruffy opening laps to both qualifying and maybe even the race, as drivers feel out the grip that they have, as there will be a slightly cloudier start to the race than we have for qualifying, so in theory a little bit more grip with the cooler conditions, but you know, it may not be as much as the drivers may expect, as Evan Dalton goes 1.7 seconds quicker than Jono Mills at the moment, and is joined up at the top on a 106.0 by Thomas Pierpont in the Fast Formula Racing car, but it's Adam Liu who's going to go 2 tenths clear at the front of the field for Phoenix Motorsport. So yeah, good luck there from Adam Liu, but as I said early on in the session, a lot can still change. As I say that, Tyler Davison, the winner of the Season 4 race around here, well, Season 4 for for Next Gen Competition, Season 1 for IndyCar of course, 3 seasons behind here in the IndyCar series, but the equivalent of Season 4. So yeah, he will be looking to improve as he slams into the wall, but yeah, he won last time out here. He's currently on provisional pole, but only by a tenth. He'll want to get that gap up a little bit more to feel a bit more comfortable out front, but he's proven in the past he can win around these streets, and he'll certainly be looking to do that same thing again here today. See Afonso Silva up in 3rd place now, he had an interesting first round of the season. He had some laps where he ran up in the top 3 at points, but also spent a lot of the day further down the order, which led to some struggles for him and perhaps not getting the result that was possible for him overall in the race, ending up P7 in the end, only scoring 26 points at the end of the race, which means he's 24 points off the championship lead. But you know, that's not that big when you consider that we've got another 17 races to go this season. It's a real endurance season this season, and we're looking at the timing now. Evan Dalton has gone top by just over a 100th and a half there for the Irishman, who now tops the session. Tyler Davison just finished that. We saw him make a mistake on it, so he will not improve. Adam Liu has, I think he has improved, but not gained a position. Then with Alfonso, he's coming up to the line now. Will he be able to improve? Doesn't look like he can there, as he remains in 4th position. Aston Lewis there, so let's have a look. We've got Thomas Pierpont making his way into or out of the final corner now, and then there's Johnny Mills behind him. Thomas Pierpont across the line now. Will he improve? Doesn't look like he's improved in terms of positions. What about Johnny Mills? Has he been able to improve? Nope, still 1.6 seconds off the pace for the Briton. One of the drivers yet to win in the IndyCar series, despite having plenty of very strong drivers out there. One driver yet to set a lap time in this session is Julius, so we'll be looking to see what he can manage in the remaining minutes of this session. As we see Adam Liu just starting another lap now. Tyler's just coming out of the final corner. He's taking a very tight line there. Could this be a quick lap? He goes to the top by 200ths of a second there, ahead of Evan Dalton. Evan Dalton, he's already through the first sector and about halfway through the second sector on his next lap, so he's going to be pushing hard to improve. Pretty lackluster performance in practice, but in qualifying he's turned up the level a little bit here, and he now finds himself currently in second, but only 200ths off pole. That could be a very possible whole position, but as I say, like, it looks to have backed off on this lap as he's not improving this time around. Adam Liu just behind him. Alfonso Silva across the line. Will he improve? Not quite able to here. Thomas Pierpont, he also didn't manage to improve, as now we see Johnny Mills, and he again doesn't improve. These drivers seem to struggle at the moment. Alfonso Silva still yet to set a lap time in the session so far. As we now look to these drivers, as we see Evan Dalton, he has indeed backed off that lap. Adam Liu, what can he do as he comes around the final corner? He looks to have backed off as well. He's going very slowly there. That's a strange one indeed. Must have had a slowdown penalty or something. Or maybe he's giving his teammate slipstream. That is Adam Richardson just behind him there. Adam Richardson, will he jump up a position? He does indeed. Pole position now. Provisional pole position at least for Adam Richardson by half a tenth. Good lap there. But a bit of help from slipstream of his teammate. It's Richardson, who currently sits up at the top for Phoenix Motorsports. But Tyler right there in the mix, as he does just cross the line there, but 7 seconds down. He does not improve. Look now to Evan Dalton, what's his lap going for at the moment. We know he backed off his last. Not long left in the session. I'm sure their tyres will be starting to feel the pain is into the wall. He goes. Evan Dalton down on this lap will not be improving. As we now look to the next cars. Adam Liu, we saw him lift off for the start of the lap to give his teammate a slipstream, so he probably won't be improving this time around, but we'll wait and see what he can do through the sector split. He makes his way through this right-hander here. Very, very wide on entry, but very, very tight on exit. Really tough corner to get right. Didn't see a split there, so we're going to assume that it's not going too well for him. Let's look around the track. We've got Tyler. He is currently on one of his laps, making his way through that same corner. Very easy to make a mistake for him, and he's 3 seconds down, so he is not pushing. Evan Dalton has just started another lap in the number 12 cars. He sends it into turn 1 and completely misses the corner. That was a little bit late on the brakes there from the Irishman who won last time out, as he now is going to have to get that car back up and running. Get a bit more time in this session. See Alfonso Silva on the racetrack. Aston Lewis, everyone here currently around the circuit. So we watched, I believe that is Tyler coming across the line. Did he improve? No, he didn't. And neither did Scott Sandover, currently sitting in 8th place. Johnny Mills, the one that's been contact here. That is Thomas Pierpont, who's gone around under qualifying conditions. I don't know what's happened there. As we now see, that is Julius into the pits. He's got, looks like he's maybe coming for a change of tyres, or just maybe getting a bit more fuel. I doubt it'd be fuel, given that you want as least fuel as possible. He's currently sitting at the back of the field, quite a way off the pack, so he's got some work to do. He's got his own issues in pit lane now, as we see Adam Richardson going through the first corner. Tyler Davison coming towards the end of the second sector. Then it is Evan Dalton, who looks like I thought he was going to make a sort of problem there, but that was just him setting up the lap for his final run here. Oh, actually, no, he's going to have 2 more runs in this session in his low drag configuration there, it looks like, in that number 12 car for Dalton Autosport. He'll be looking to try and get a good run in to turn 1, but he's got a car coming out the pits. He's going to have to play it safe with them, not cut it too close as he goes into the wall in the exit of turn 1. And that is going to cost him some time now as he makes his way through the right-hander. Oh, and he's into the other wall, so he's got one more attempt left as we look over to Richardson. As Davison has crossed the line, he has not improved. Richardson, what can he do as he makes his way towards the final corner now? Gets it into the hairpin. He takes that tight line, so he must be on a push lap. Makes his way out of the hairpin now. Good traction is crucial. Very, very slow speed corner now. Across the line, can Richardson improve? He does by a huge margin. By 8/10 of a second. That's a mega lap from Richardson, who goes 8.5 quicker than the next quickest car in this qualifying session so far. What a lap there from the Brit. What a lap. And I know he doesn't really like this circuit, so maybe he's changed his mind now. Maybe he does like this circuit after that lap time right there. Really impressive time there. As we look to the rest, we know Evan Dalton, yeah, he's backed off indeed. Adam Liu, what's he up to at the moment as he makes his way through the final corner? Looks like he's going to be pushing through this final corner. Can he improve up to the front row of the grid? Can he maybe even get up there and fight for pole with his teammate? He comes out of the final corner, across the line, and he doesn't improve, so he's got one more attempt left in this session. Afonso, he's round at this part of the racetrack. Let's see who else is coming through the final couple of corners. We've got a couple cars on the back end of the circuit. That was Tyler Davison, who's just come across the line to start his final lap. Scott Sandover's just going to miss the line. Will he improve? Doesn't look like he does, so Scott Sandover will qualify no higher than 8th position here. He returns to his pit box. So let's look now at the drivers contending for this pole position to see Evan Dalton just ahead of John O'Mills. Evan Dalton not looking like he's on a quick lap here. What about Tyler Davison? He's a little bit further back, as we know he just about crossed the line. Always in the wall as well. He's not going to be able to improve. That is a huge lap from Adam Richardson. So that is not looking likely to be beaten. Adam Liu making his way down the backstretch now. Can he take the fight to his teammate here for that pole position? All he needs is a 10th and a half and he'll be back up into the front row. So as he hits the wall, they're all doing it. All these drivers really pushing the limits here and well, going over them just a tad in this session so far. Adam Liu out of the final corner with Thomas Pierpont across the line. He doesn't improve. Evan Dalton does not improve. Adam Liu does not improve either. So this looks like we've got our grid starting to form here, as I don't believe anyone is still on a lap. Actually, no, one more car is on a lap. Is that Tyler? Yes, it is. Tyler out of the final corner now. Where will he go? He's clearly backed off. And that is the session over and done with now, I believe. As indeed it is, just a few seconds left and this session is over. So yes, that is qualifying. It's Adam Richardson with an absolutely insane lap time there to secure pole position for the Long Beach Grand Prix here, round 2 of season 6. As you can see now, that was a huge lap from Adam Richardson, with most of the time coming in the second and third sector. So interesting to watch that in the race. Off the start, he might be in trouble if he struggles through that first sector, but I say he struggles, he's still one of the quickest through there. Just not gaining quite as much time as he does in the others. And this is your grid now. Adam Richardson, Tyler Davison on the front row. This is going to be an exciting one. This is certainly going to be an exciting one. So let's go down to the grid now. Drivers now on the grid. You see the clouds have come over just a little bit here, getting ready for the race start. All the drivers on the grid. Oh, that's Julius, who's had a connection issue again for the second race in a row. He's had a connection issue on the start, so he will not make the start for today's event, which means there's now 9 cars on the grid, just waiting for these guys all to be ready for the race. And again, Julius is joined, but it's going to be too late for him to get back into the race. More problems for the German driver. So we wait here on the grid. Just waiting for these drivers to get fully prepared for today's race. So we'll get a good few views here of our pole sitter. Adam Richardson starting on pole position here today. The drivers are now ready for the race. Just waiting now for the lights. The lights are coming on. And we are racing here in the second race of the season. There's a crash at the back already. The two fast Formula racing cars have collided, but it's a good start for Richardson, who's immediately got the jump on the field as they're 3 wide for second place behind him. This could end badly as they make their way into the first corner of the race. Oh, and there's cars airborne all over the place. All sorts of drama there as the camera helpfully didn't give us a good view at all. as that is Evan Dalton, the winner last time out, who's had a problem. So has Afonso Silva, as Thomas Pierrepont's got a problem, and the caution is going to come out for the first time here today. Adam Richardson out front, and I am now going to get the caution ready. I wasn't prepared for it to come out that quickly. I should have been, in respect, as the two Foster Waller racing cars crashed off the line, so that was immediately two, and since then we had another few cars crash there as well. So really messy start to this race here today, as I'm looking to try and fight. There it is. A few technical difficulties there, but the caution is now out here on the racetrack. The drivers will all be slowing down to pace speed as we see them now beginning to slow down and get ready here as the pit lane is closed. I'll just confirm that to the drivers so they know. So drama early in this race. Apologies that we got an absolutely shocking camera view of it going into turn one. The game decided to do a very close-up on a car that was flying, so that wasn't especially great. Sadly, I'm very new to commentating on Project Cars 2, so maybe there's a knack for which cars to look at, which cars to not look at, depending on where they are on the racetrack, but hopefully we'll figure that one out if there is. The field's now just bunching up. We see Johnny Mills has caught the back of the pack now, so pits will be open this time. We'll get an overview up here now so you can see what is going on. We will now open up pit lane. And I don't imagine we'll have any drivers pitting, but got to give them a chance. Maybe some... Well, to be fair, some of the guys at the back might decide to throw something at it, maybe refuel up to full fuel. It does look like they've started with quite high fuel loads, so I doubt there'll be huge differences in the race. I'll come and take this opportunity under caution to come and have a look at any comments that you have put on the stream chat. That's not very nice of a font. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Just reading the stream chat. Seb has said that his brother is slow. Unsurprisingly, as we do see a couple of cars coming to the pits here. That is Aston Lewis into the pits. He tried this last week, not to much success, must be said. But he's trying again here, and he's joined by Thomas Pierrepont in the pit lane. And Johnny Mills has stayed out on the racetrack season. They get a couple of positions here out of these two who will come out on track ahead. And Zauber, that is of course Julius, the driver who lagged out on the start, didn't lag out. But instead he I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, I really shouldn't. He pressed X on the return to race central screen, which the drivers see, because Afonso told him to do so, which meant that he's not in the race anymore. So he will get points for last place, and I don't know, if he decides to report Afonso for that, I don't know if there's much we can do, other than just politely ask him to be less of a pain. I don't know, I'd have to consult the other stewards on that one. But yeah, who knows. It's Aston Lewis who gets out ahead of Thomas Pierrepont, unsurprisingly, there from the pit lane, as Aston Lewis demonstrating very well how to not rejoin the track safely at the worst possible time, because it's under safety car, so there is no need to be pushing that at all here. Actually, let's get the track map up, shall we, so we can see where the rest of the field is. That's turning off the speedo. And let's have a look now, as I don't think we're going to be green this time, sadly. Yeah, we'll definitely try and sort out the Afonso Zauber issues. Are we going to catch the field? It doesn't look like we are, so we are going to have another lap under caution here, sadly. As we see Thomas Pierrepont trying to catch up to the back of the pack, but it's such a long pit lane here. If you don't catch up to the back of the pack, you don't have a chance really at being able to stay with them. As we see them now just making their way through the final couple of corners. As Thomas makes his way out, you see, it would have been close, but not close enough really. As he now makes his way out onto the main straight, and he will now join the back of the pack. We'll look up to the leaders. Adam Richardson leading the way ahead of Tyler Davison. The front row from qualifying has stayed that way. We will be green this time. At the end of this lap, we'll be back up to racing speed. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the stream chat. I'm happy to answer any of them whilst we have this lap under caution. Fuel mileage will be an interesting one here in today's race. strategy always a fascinating aspect of these IndyCar races. We saw last time out in Watkins Glen quite a few different strategies were attempted, and it gave lots of different drivers a chance out front, and you saw really when a driver had time out front in clear air, they could pull away out front. But if they then dropped into second or third, they really couldn't do much from there. So it means that it just shows really that track position is crucial, and you really need to have the perfect chance and perfect strategy to put yourself out front, because the person that finds themselves leading in the final stint, when they don't have to make a pit stop again, they're going to be the favourite for the win. It's as simple as that. You can definitely overtake and you can definitely have a good chance at it, but when you've got track position and don't need to make a pit stop, it's the perfect situation to be in, and a very, very tricky position to get your rivals out of here. As we see Adam Richardson come around the final corner now, he gets ready, he puts the throttle down, slowly building the speed back up here. We await the green flag. He goes very late there, and we are back up to green flag racing here. It's a great launch there from Adam Liu. He's making the move immediately on Tyler Davison as they go into the first corner here. It's Liu down the inside of Davison. Davison's going to come across the front of him. He gets the move done. Oh, it says cars in the wall. Davison goes straight on into the wall. In front of the entire field, he's caused carnage and mayhem as that's 3 cars involved here. Thomas, and that is 4 cars involved, and the caution is out here. Again, a lap 1 caution. Tyler Davison making a big, big, big mistake going to that first corner. He really chucked that car into the wall, pushed too hard on the brakes, and, well, he outbroke himself and the whole field there. Went deep into turn 1, hit the wall, and then that was just stuck up behind. And by some miracle, he has managed to hold on to P2, so unusual strategy there, and the pit lane will be open this time. So anyone that wishes to pit can do indeed. As the field makes their way back down to caution speed. Dramatic restart there. Might need to find a different way of looking at these restarts, because the camera angles I'm getting for turn 1 aren't the best. But yeah, it just looked like Tyler Davison went in a little bit too hot into turn 1. Just rubbed the outside wall on the exit of turn 1. And from there, it was very much the whole field coming through out on the limit of grip already, having a car directly in front of them. It was just destined to go wrong, wasn't it? As Aston Lewis will come into the pit lane there from 5th position. That's a bold strategy call indeed. He did it on the first caution. He's pit again now, so hopefully he can have a nice quick pit stop so we can get back to racing to be as quick as possible. We'll have a brief push-to-pass update here. Adam Richardson currently on 9. It is 8 for Tyler Davison, 10 for John O'Mills, who is up into 3rd place. As always, John O'Mills up into podium position out of nowhere. Evan Dalton on 9. Then it is Thomas Pierpoint on 10. Then Adam Liu on 9, same for Alfonso Silva, Scott Sandover on 10, and Aston Lewis, as we see him refueling his car there, is also on 9. If you're wondering how push to pass works, it is a 20-minute essentially boost of power, gives the drivers a bit more speed, a bit more engine power, it uses a bit more fuel, so it's not like a hybrid system that you'd see in a Formula 1 car, or perhaps another racing series. It's not like attack mode in Formula E or anything like that. It's a bit like overtake mode in the Formula 1 game, just instead of it being hybrid, it's just essentially consuming a bit more fuel. And also that you have 10 uses of it across the entire race. That doesn't reset, it doesn't recharge or anything like that. You get 10 uses for the entire race, and that's just what you have. And each usage lasts 20 seconds, and once you press it, that's it. It's on for 20 seconds. You can't then turn it off and save it. You hit the button once, you've got 20 seconds of power, extra power then. As we now see the drivers making their way through the final couple of corners, but Aston Lewis is not up to the back of the pack, so we will not be green flag this time. So still under yellow here in the Long Beach Grand Prix. Drama early on in this race. Hopefully we'll get up to racing soon, for everyone's sake here, especially us as viewers, in a 43 lap race. We don't want this to take too long to get going here today. So hopefully this one will get going soon. Whilst we're under caution, and shout out to Aston Lewis, who partly suggested the idea, reminded me of the idea. Please do go and check out our sponsors here at Next Gen Competition. We have 3 main title sponsors, or partners I suppose I should say. We have Funny F1, a hilarious meme page on Instagram, brought to you by some great people over there. The 2 owners of that account both have raced in Project IndyCar in the past, so please do go out and check funny.f1 on Instagram for a very, very good Instagram account. Also go out and check Bois F1, a brilliant motorsport account with all the latest news, everything, where it's sort of reputable rumours, I think you could say, sort of rumours that have got a bit of weight to them, so that you can sort of put some trust in, and also breaking news as soon as it's out there, as well as absolutely anything else in the motorsport thing, anything you can think of, they do it over there. And again, people, Evan, who runs F1, is a driver and the winner last time out, so please do go check them out. We have one more sponsor, but we're getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here, so we will mention them under the next caution, because I'm sure we will have another one. As we type it out, and they now know we'll be green this time here. The field is bunched up, we're getting ready. Adam Richardson brings them out of the final corner. When will he go this time? He went late last time. He's going late again. We are back to Green Flag Racing here in the Long Beach Grand Prix. Richardson leads them through this flat-out curve to get the lap underway. Immediately, Davison going defensive as we've got a car in the background around. That's Liu, who's gone around through the first flat-out bend. As we see, that is Davison and Mills going side-by-side through the first corner. Davison stays ahead there of the JMR Racing driver there. Jono Mills driving for his own team. Then comes Thomas Pierpont in fourth, ahead of Alfonso Silva. Then Evan Dalton is just behind him. As they're then followed by Aston Lewis, the most recent driver to come to pit lane, so he's the driver with the most fuel so far in this race. As then it's Scott Sandover and Adam Liu, the one spinner so far in this stint of the race. As we see side-by-side racing, Thomas Pierpont is trying to get past Jono Mills here. Can he get the move done? He looks to the outside, can't quite make it stick here. As we had another spin, Aston Lewis has gone around as well. We've got two cars around now, two more for a yellow. Another car's dropped off the back of this pack, that is Scott Sandover, but he's right in the mix still. As Jono Mills, has he been able to stay in that third position? He has indeed. We've got Evan Dalton really starting to pressure the back of Alfonso Silva here, as they make their way into the final couple of corners. Really slow corner there from Alfonso Silva. Can he get the exit he needs to maintain that position down the main straight? We go. It is Richardson who leads the way for Phoenix Motorsports, ahead of Davison, ahead of Mills, and then it is the pack of cars here that are racing hard, as we see Dalton all over the back of Silva as they dive into turn one. So late on the brakes is Evan Dalton. He just about gets it stopped. He brushes with the wall. They're side by side into the fountain section. This can only end badly. There's a bit of rubbing, but Evan Dalton gets the move done. He is up into fourth position, as Jono Mills, in all of that mayhem, completely missed turn one, which has dropped him down late to the back of the field. That does now mean three cars have had problems on this run so far. So one more car, and the caution is back out here. So top six, keep it clean. They've got a good chance of getting a good result here. But if anything goes wrong, they've got the safety net of a caution. So it is now Pierpont up into third place here. Dalton up into fourth. He got two positions for the price of one there. And really, I don't think he was expecting that, but he got it for free. Dalton making his way through the right-hander there. He's now got Thomas Pierpont to pressure. As Pierpont goes wide, there's contact. Dalton's around. That was a brave move there from Evan Dalton. And the caution has come out here on the racetrack. So drama here as Dalton, he went for an opportunistic dive bomb down the inside of the left-hander there. And, well, that's a car in the pits when pit lane should be closed. Going to say pit lane closed now. So yeah, Lewis will have to restart at the back. As Aston Lewis will have to restart ninth for this next restart, no matter what happens next time around, for pitting under a closed pit lane. As soon as the caution comes out, the pit lane is automatically closed. It is an automatic thing, that's always been the case. So he has pit under a closed pit lane there. As we now see Adam Richardson leading the field, we will now open pit lane now that they've come around for their next attempt. Pit lane will be open here. Adam Richardson makes his way through the final corner, and I imagine we could well see some pit stops here. What will the drivers do? Richardson's keeping it in a straight line at the moment. Will he turn hard right? No, he won't. Looks like they're all staying out here. So we look further down the order, and regardless of whether Aston Lewis had pit illegally or not, he would have started ninth anyway. So he's got a bit lucky there on that one, you could say, in one sense at least, as everyone has stayed out. And avoided some controversy, I suppose, as well, which is handy. Just everyone staying out here, and hopefully Aston Lewis will catch up this time around. He's got a lap to do so, so I will say green this time now, because we definitely will be green this time. I won't actually send it yet, though, just in case. But we will be, for those watching, we will be green this time, unless Aston Lewis makes a huge, lengthy list of errors. But even then, we would be, we would... oh, okay, that's a fun thing there. Let's quickly turn off my notifications.